Hey guys, so you're probably wondering why my video is in black and white, and let's just say that my camera is really crappy, and the lighting in my apartment isn't great at night especially, and so if I have to shoot these videos at night, I'm probably going to do it in black and white, because it's easier to watch when it's in black and white. So there you go. And you know, my life is just so dark. It's like an abyss that I'm constantly falling into and being suffocated by. So this week we're talking about feminism. Something I'm really excited about talking about. The only issue is, which is, you know, my fault because I suggested those topics. We'll be talking about myths of feminism and male feminism later. So I don't want to get ahead of myself and post a video, you know, a month in advance that I'm going to be posting again later. So feminism to me is a movement centered around women's issues that I feel should exclude people, you know, besides misogynists. But it is a movement that focuses on women's issues. What exactly do I mean by that? By women's issues, women have kind of had an uphill battle in history. I was just reading in a book about Russian history about how women had all these like crazy rules assigned to them concerning, you know, they had to know how to keep up their household, and my favorite one was they were not allowed, when they went to a guest's house, they were not allowed to eat without their husband's permission. They had to ask their husband's permission, can I eat this guest's food, and the husband had to like give them the food. They were supposed to talk to their husbands every day and consult them. They were supposed to not keep any secrets from their husbands, which is funny because there's no chapter about not keeping secrets, you know, from your wife, but there was definitely a chapter about not keeping secrets from your husband. And it was really odd because, I mean, obviously we've come way past that, thank God, but at the same time, I think, you know, that's really kind of like hot and heavy, like misogyny, you know what I mean? Like that's just like really just like drenched in misogyny. But you know, as misogyny has been diluted through history, thank God, you know, it has not fully gone away. We aren't a society, I think, that can say that, you know, misogyny doesn't exist. Obviously, you should look at some channels. I'm not going to name any names, but there are some channels on this YouTube, in YouTube land, that, you know, I think one of my favorite phrases was, men made it safe for women to leave the cave, and they spat on us as they walked out. Which is funny, you know, for a lot of reasons. But, yeah, misogyny definitely still exists. And I think there's, like, this real hatred towards women, a lot of it geared towards feminists, and I'm not precisely sure where it comes from. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people feel that feminists monopolize power, but honestly, this is the way I've heard these kind of social movements, controversial ones like feminism and affirmative action, explained, is that when there is injustice in the world, you have to make a conscious effort to stop that cycle, because power structures like that are self-perpetuating. It's one of those things where you have to step in and say, like, we are going to make this effort in order to make sure that this group of people who were previously looked down upon have a place in society. That's the philosophy behind affirmative action, and I think it's the philosophy behind feminism in a lot of ways, is that, you know, women shouldn't be sought for traditionally male roles solely because they're women, really, but because in order to have a more diverse society, a society where the widest range of voices is able to speak up and lend itself to society in order to make the best society possible, we have to learn to not discriminate against people. But, you know, there's still a long way to go. There's still there's still misogyny in the world. And it's seen in, like, the most random places, and you'll just come upon it, and you'll be like, what? One of my favorite professors in school is a Nazi-era professor. And she says, you know, when she started her job, she was at a job somewhere else, and she said people were, like, asking her really seriously, like, are you sure that you study Nazi history? You're a woman. Like, why? You know, because it's, like, war and death and terror and all those kind of things that are kind of associated with, like, testosterone, and let's go watch, you know, Valkyrie 10,000 times or whatever movie. But, you know, she was interested on a historical level, on a human rights level, and just, I think just pure interest level. So that's something that she does, and I think that's kind of like a picture, paints a really nice small picture of what feminism can mean in individual lives. So I hope I gave you sort of a definition of feminism. I think I'll launch more into how I feel about the subject later when we talk about males being feminists. Tomorrow is Thursday, is Dez's day. You should watch her vid because she's awesome. I just saw her tonight, and I've missed my Dez. But yeah, watch Dez's vid tomorrow, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.